Coffee brewing? Check. Coffee with HDR on the big screen in the shed? Check. 15 minutes till coffee with HDR? Check. Oh man. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, sir. Sir, with all due respect, we're getting ready to watch Coffee with HDR. Yeah, he's on 9. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Yes, sir. I'll give you a call back in an hour. Thank you, sir. I tell you, nothing, nothing interrupts coffee with HDR. Let's get on with the show.
All right. Thank you once again to Smyrna Cowboy for that great intro. Guys, if you're wondering, you're like, hey, HDR, what the heck's going on there? You you have the same intro playing over and over and over because you guys aren't sending them in. You got to send the intros into me so I can play your intros and, get you some publicity here on Coffee with HDR. Oh, gotta love that coffee in the morning, right? All right, let's go through here and get some of our good mornings in today. Let's get started here. Let's go up to the top of the list here. Good morning to Toby Northern, Jarvis Biker, the Smyrna Cowboy, who says 45 degrees there. It's about the same here this morning, I think. Right now, let's look at the official temperature on our phone here. Yep, 45 degrees. And I will be planning right after the show here. I got to jump on the bike and run down to the store real quick before the homecoming parade shuts our town down. Yes, it shuts the town down. Anyway, all right. Good morning to Captain Ed, Robert. Good morning to you. Let's see here. Who else? Harley 103. Toby Northern, I got you already. Chuck Henson, good morning. Mike Bo9 and Dean C. Good morning to Debbie and Mallory. Good morning. Glad to have you on board here with us this morning. Good morning to Jarvis Biker. Payne's Rides, good morning to you. Good morning, fine motorcycle type people. There are some fine motorcycle type people in there this morning for sure. Good morning to Paul. Good morning to Bodine 52. How you doing this morning on this fine day? D.A. Bishop's in the house. And I think we got everybody covered already. Some mornings you have to wonder, where are all the people at, right? Where do they all go on a Saturday morning so early, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? I don't know. Ron Kelly, good morning. And here comes some fine folks here this morning. That's going to be a hard intro to beat. That is a hard intro to beat. That intro, Smyrna Cowboy scripted that out. But you know what? Ever since then, I've noticed a spike in my videos coming from the White House. I'm like, so that's pretty cool because now they know about me because he told the president about me. So I'm sure he spread it around the White House. And him and all of his staffers are watching Coffee with HDR. So with that said, last Sunday, myself and Mrs. HDR. Was it last Sunday? It was last Sunday. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Saturday I worked on the deck. I dropped 30 boards on the deck and lots of screws and lots of backache, lots of leg pain, lots of knee aches. But it's looking really good. I'll show you guys a picture of it when we finally get it all completed. It's probably going to be right around Christmas time at this point, I figure. But hey, I'm an optimist. Maybe we'll get it done sooner. Our biggest thing is we keep running out of wood and we don't own a pickup truck. So for us to be able to go out and buy 12-foot boards makes it kind of tough to do that. We had a pickup truck for several years. Lots of years we had pickup trucks here. And the last pickup truck we had, we actually leased it for 3 years. We didn't haul anything in that 3 years, and we thought, do we really need to have a pickup truck? Do we need that expense? Do we need that gas layout for gas money for the pickup truck? So we thought, no, we're not going to do that. So we now have 2 CRVs. And you can't really haul wood in CRVs. It just doesn't work out too well. So every time we run out of wood or need wood or something, have to go back to the lumber yard. We have to wait. We have to borrow somebody's truck. We have to go out and get the wood and bring it home. And it's a whole big process. But it is getting closer. And guys, have you bought wood lately? I don't know if you bought wood lately or not, but good morning to Q the Bikeaholic. Good morning. That's a pretty cool name, Q the Bikeaholic. Um, the big ride got X'd for this weekend, but I'm heading out to Southwest next week and going somewhere to be determined. Um, Mike Bodine said, Mike, you got your stickers. Mike Bodine got his stickers. Well, that's good to know. Guys, I still got stickers to get out. I know Smyrna Cowboy, I'm sorry you sent me your address. I've been so overworked and just zero time left to get anything done. So I do have to sit down and address a bunch of envelopes. I do have new stickers, and I want to get those out to everybody because I think that's a good thing. Good morning to Pink's Adventures. Glad to have you on board with us this morning. So yeah, back to the wood. You go out and you buy this wood. We bought, oh God, what did we buy? 30, 40 planks of wood. And they look pretty good in the store. You come home and they're like bent, and they're lopsided, they're curved, you can't put a curved board on a straight deck. It just doesn't work. So we actually are going to be returning some boards because they are so expensive that, you know, I can't see just throwing them away or putting them on the burn pile. When I'm going to return them and get straight ones. So why not? It's their problem, not mine. So, but great to see lumber and gas prices dropping. Paul says, yeah, lumber prices are dropping. Right now I need 125 2x4s. And I need those because I still want to, man, what is down there? I still want to close my garage in, put walls up, put insulation in the garage, and put I don't know, probably put maybe plywood up or drywall. I don't think I'll drywall it. I don't think that's a good idea for the dampness down there. You'd have to use that special drywall board that you use in showers. Probably it's pretty expensive for that. So we'll see what happens. That's on the back burner. I mean, the garage is the garage. You guys have seen my garage many times. I mean, I kind of like it the way it is. It kind of grows on you, and it's been working for us. So I'm not really too overly concerned about that. So, but that is my saga right now. Smarty Cowboy says, store them in the rafters in your garage. Oh, store them in the rafters. Yeah, well, I mean, we're still using it. That's what I did do. So Mrs. HDR came up with an idea a while back. She goes, look, if you go out and you buy, say, 5 2x4s every payday, and just put them in the rafters in the garage. So we do have a lot of 2x4s in there already. Not 125. I might have enough to do one section of my garage. And I may start doing that. Just start gradually doing the build out. And then I don't get too sore. I don't have to worry about all the aches and pains trying to do it all in one day. And it could be a slow process. I have plenty of time in the winter. You guys know, I mean, we don't ride much in the winter time, and there's not much to do. So maybe I'll start doing it this winter. I don't know. I would like to get it done at some point, just to make it kind of nice there. So anyway, yeah, we did get out. Ty from Tennessee said he's packing up and he's heading out for the Cherahalla Skyway. And just wanted to say hello and bye. Ty, just put your phone on your handlebars and stick around with Coffee with HDR. But thank you for joining us here this morning. Long live Coffee with HDR, Ty says. Ty's been taking some amazing motorcycle trips. And guys, from what he told us, this is what he told us the other night, is we're not going to see anything from the trip from the Cherahalla Skyway because he's taking no camera gear. And guys, I always say you can take the buoy out of the motive logging, but it's hard to take the motive logging out of the buoy, right? Every time you go out, you want to turn that camera on and you want to record something. So, I'm proud of Ty. I think it's great. Go out, enjoy yourself, man. Enjoy your motorcycle. You two can become one and become one machine together without bringing us along. And that's okay. That's all right. It's okay to be a little private in our lives. I don't think we have enough privacy in our lives right now. Everything we do is out there in the world. So it's that's just the way it is, right? And the kids today, they don't care one iota about privacy. Nothing. Everything they do goes online. Everything. You know, whatever they do. I mean, and I have a whole room full of kids, and I guarantee you, everything they do goes online. I had one young boy one morning. He said, "Oh, Mr. HDR, Mr. HDR," because that's what they call me in the classroom. I told him, "Call me Mr. HDR. It's easier than pronouncing my last name." And they call me Mr. HDR. And he goes, "Oh, can I look at my phone? Because I take their phones off of them all the whole class. They don't have their phones." I said, "Why do you need to look at your phone?" "Well, I need to see if anybody snapped me because snaps go away. I got to look at the snaps. I got snaps are important." I'm like, "Dude, you're in school. You don't have to worry about social media when you're in school. You're here to learn. I'm not snapping you as a teacher, so apparently you don't need to see that stuff, right?" So I'm trying to pull them away a little bit, but they are not private people. So privacy is about all we have to live for. Is have a little bit of privacy in your life. We've been watching this show called The Morning Show, and it's on Apple TV. If you haven't watched it, I suggest very highly that you do. Yeah, okay, HDR, it's not a motorcycle show, but it is an amazing show. And it's like a news anchor type of a deal, saga, about a news station. And they just got hacked the other day. And the amount of personal information that they had out online that got picked up by these hackers and used against them. Because, guys, you could be blackmailed, right? For stuff you have online. People can take it. And you're like, "Well, I'm nobody. Who's going to blackmail me?" Dude, if they can get $1,000 out of you, $5,000 out of you because they have some kind of secret private stuff about you, like you secretly bought a Honda, but you're a Harley guy. Yeah, that's going out there. That's going online. So, anyway, Be the Rider PA, good morning. Weather is getting colder. Ride safe. It is getting cold out there. Good morning to Mini Moto. Glad to have you on board there with us this morning. So, yeah, anyway, I am becoming more private conscious, and I should have been doing this. I've been slowly trying to figure this stuff out. Um, you know, one big thing, and this is really hard, is like getting off of Gmail, getting secure email servers going, and securing your home network. We recently, I believe, we had a hacker on my Windows machine. I hate Microsoft Windows. It's just like leaving the front door open, unlocked to your house in a high crime neighborhood. Somebody's coming in. So if you have a Windows computer and it's on the internet all the time, somebody's coming into that box. Not that they can't get into your Mac and your Linux machines, but Windows is just really. Every time I turn my Windows computer on, our internet goes out. So that's telling me that somebody is inside that machine, right? They can see it every time I turn that power button on. So I'm kind of skeptical about not turning that power button on. Until our summer as a whirlwind mess between both bikes. I did less than 150 kilometers, hoping to make that up in next summer. Yeah, and you know what? I didn't put enough miles on either one of the motorcycles this year for sure. Um, every day it was beautiful, and I thought, man, I should go for a ride. Well, then I had 50 excuses why I didn't go riding. You know, be that one way or the other. But anyway, last Sunday I did go riding. I did go riding with Mrs. HDR. Be the Rider PA said VPN now on computer. Use Duck Browser and Kowalski Internet. And those are all great solutions, right? Using a VPN but using a VPN is only connecting your computer, get that? Your computer, and it's securing your transmissions across the internet. What it's not doing is not preventing anybody from coming into your computer from the outside world because you probably don't have a hardware firewall in your house. Most people do not. I recently found one, and I'll be rebuilding. I'm rebuilding my entire network. Hopefully by Monday, I should have a lot of it rebuilt and re-sanctioned and kind of split up a little bit. But that's what I do for a living, right? I teach networking, and I also teach cybersecurity. Um, I would like to put this out there to anybody. If you want me to scan your network and see if you have any opens, anything open, let me know, and get in contact with me on Instagram. For those of you who have my phone number, you can text me, and I'll tell you what I need to start scanning your network and see if you have any vulnerabilities on your home networks. Um, and see if I can get in. If I can get in, then yeah, the bad guys are getting in too, right? So, but at least I can tell you how to secure your stuff and lock it down a little bit better. So, Anonymous Biker said, I run scans daily, and you should, right? You should run scans daily. Can I use a VPN when I'm stealing? I mean, using my neighbor's internet, asking for a friend. Yes, you can use a VPN when you're borrowing your neighbor's internet. Guys, if your neighbor's internet is unsecured and it's open, by all means use it. Why wouldn't you, right? We used to do when we first moved in our housing plan. There was only dial-up internet. Where we moved from, we had DSL, which is not great, but it was better than dial-up. And we moved literally 5 miles, 10 miles down the road to a housing plan, and I didn't even give it a thought, right? About changing the utilities over and changing the phone. They're like, well, there's no DSL in that plan. I'm like, excuse me? They're like, yeah, there's no high speed internet in that plan. You have to use dial up. I'm like, oh my goodness. So somebody moved in 2 doors down. They had satellite internet service. And being I am who I am, I actually bought a, yeah, okay, so I went to great extents to borrow their internet. I actually bought a Wi Fi extender. I put it in a window in my house that was pointing to their house, right? Across down a couple houses to boost the signal up that I was getting from their house. And I had whole house internet off of their satellite. So that was pretty nice. Again, it was unsecured, so why wouldn't I borrow it, right? Uh, you know, okay, HDR. That's like saying if somebody's house is unlocked, you can go in and take their computer equipment. Yeah, okay, that's probably stealing. But they didn't know. They were no wiser. So I used it probably for a few months. Then they finally moved away. And, well, the internet went with them. So, long story short, we finally got fiber optics into our housing plan here. And every house now has fiber optics. So, that's what I'm communicating with you on for this show. Um, so, HDR, that makes me see you in a whole new light. There you go. Why? I don't understand. Um, Anonymous Biker. Uh, what are you guys doing next Sunday? Oh, it's actually my son texting me. I'll tell him I'm live now. Then he'll know. He should be watching. I know my grandsons. I got two grandsons and a granddaughter with at my son's house, and the two grandsons do like watching Coffee with HDR. So they need to be having me on the big screen right now, and he would know that I'm live. So HDR, this makes me see. Okay, I got that. Anonymous Biker said, I only get weird messages from a guy calls himself Bodine Old Duck. Oh yeah, well, I get weird messages from Bodine Old Duck too. Yeah, I do. Um, the good old Pringles can Wi-Fi trick, Minimoto. That I'm surprised you know that trick. That's a great trick. So what that is you take a wireless card, right, and you put a Pringles can on it, and it makes a directional antenna because inside the Pringles can is basically like that aluminum stuff, and you can point it right at somebody's house, and you can just suck their wireless right into your computer. It works really really well. Because I know, because I've experimented. That's why I know this to be the case. So, which is better, fiber optics or cable? Fiber optics, 100% hand down. Cable is never meant, Smyrna Cowboy, cable has never been meant to carry the amount of bandwidth that they're trying to put through it. So it loses a lot of bandwidth. Also, cable, with cable internet, you share the bandwidth with everybody in your neighborhood. So let's say your neighborhood has 50 houses, maybe 100 houses or whatever, and they're bringing that internet in there, and they bring one cable, one main cable into the housing plan, and then they put a box that breaks it off. So as more and more people are using that internet, your speed will drop, okay? Fiber optics doesn't work that way. Fiber optics works if they're selling you 100, like we buy 100 megabyte up and down. Okay, so both. It's called synchronized internet. So I am pushing this signal out to you through 100 megabits of internet to you, and that gives me a good live stream. And I can also download at 100 megabit. I can go faster, but for me and Mrs. HDR, honestly, and uploading videos to YouTube, that's all you need. Guys, don't get into this thing where I have to have a gigabyte. I have to have 500 megabytes. I have to have faster, faster, faster. Buy what you need, right? And buy what you're going to be able to use. So it's a waste of money if you buy more than you need. I mean, yeah, it's a talking point, I guess, but I get my internet, my YouTube videos go up to the internet. I just posted one this morning. It went out for my Jack's photo and tech. Hint, hint. There's a live video coming up of a photo edit I did this morning. So that video went up. It was a 15-minute video. Play went up in about, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. It was gone. So there you have it. Are you guys going to start up the fireside chat again? Ricky KM said, and we've talked about it, Ricky KM, but we're all very, very busy people at this point. The fireside chat was created because it needed to be created at the time because the whole world was kind of sitting in their houses and couldn't really do anything. So it happened that way, and that's why we created that. It ran its gamut pretty well. It did a good run. And we talked about bringing it back occasionally as a get together and probably like as 3 to 5 guys chatting because we have a big chat group now. And that chat group consists of myself, Boating 52, Bronco Ride, Pete's Moto Adventures, and Ty from Tennessee. So that is our big chat group that we have going on. So we thought maybe we'll all get together because we do chat over text messages so much that it's unbelievable how much how many texts we do a week. The other day at work, I can't look at them when I'm teaching. Obviously, it's not fair to the kids anyway because the kids can't have their phones, and I'm not going to have my phone out when I'm trying to teach a kid something. So that's not even right. But we get breaks, and I'll look at break. I'll pull my phone up and look at breaks, and it'll say missed 145 messages. And it's the guys texting each other back and forth through our chat group. And then you got to sit and go all the way back through number one to see what the heck they're talking about to try to catch yourself back up. So pretty interesting stuff. It's pretty cool, I recently switched from cable to fiber speed, full speed fiber. Fiber is so much faster and way more stable, Paynes Rod said. Um, Absolutely. Fiber is way more extensively faster and more reliable. The only time you have a fiber outage, and this happened to us one time, is if a pole would happen to get hit by a car. We still have poles where we live. I don't know if you do. I believe at this point, all utility cables, power cables, fiber cables, there should be no more telephone poles. That's been outdated since the 19 something 1900s, right? Whenever people start getting rid of the landline phones, they should have started taking the poles down. Everything should be underground at this point because you got to figure it. Then it's not as accessible to wind damage, hurricanes, tornadoes. If everything was underground, it would be a lot better because it would be more stable and it wouldn't be such an eyesore with all the telephone poles all over the place. Had a salesperson come by the house yesterday weighing my options. Smyrna Cowboy said, "Yeah, Smyrna, if you can get fiber optics, drop the cable and get fiber optics, you're gonna be a lot happier with it. I mean, if the cable's working and the price is right, the problem is if you have Comcast cable like we have here in Pennsylvania, they do these package deals and they go, oh, your internet will be $55 a month for 2 years, and you're like, wow, $55 a month for 2 years, that's a bargain, so you buy it." And then after 2 years, you get your first bill. After 2 years, it's $185 a month. It's like, excuse me. Yeah. Anyway, so I am back to like I said, I'm building a different network here. So I'm trying to get my house re-networked. My network gear is old. My wireless router, I bought it. I was telling my kids at school, I probably bought it. Best guess was 2014, maybe 20, somewhere around there. long, long time ago. So there's a lot better gear out there. Like Miss HR says, it's still working, and it does. It works well. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But I wanted whole house wireless. So what that means is I'm putting different access points throughout the house, right, and in the garage. So when I'm walking around the house, we never lose our signal. It just stays constant everywhere you go because it's the same wireless. You get the picture. Instead of having like we used to have an access point. Well, we have a wireless in the house. I have an access point hanging in the garage, but it's on a different name, right? It's a different name. And then we have an extender in another part of our house because your house is so large, right? So we have another extender in another part of the house so we can get wireless there, and that's another name. So instead of doing that, I'm going to put whole house wireless in, just like would be in your business, and it's super nice to do that. So um, that has to go in yet. So I have a lot of work to do, a lot of networking work to do at the house. As you know, I've been building the studio up. I told you I bought a new Mac Mini. I absolutely love it. It's doing very, very well. It's very fast. The 34-inch widescreen monitor. It would be hard to go back to regular monitor now. I mean, the graphics since I put that Mac Mini in are spot on, man. They are beautiful. It's a 5K monitor, and it's just beautiful the way it works. So, for video editing, it's amazing. Video recording, it works great. So, um, and the guys always ask me, the kids always ask me, they said, hey, why is this doing this again? Let's see. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Let's see here. Let's do this. Oh, there we go. Now I look nicer. All right. Now I look better. Nicer. Nicer is not really a word. All right. Motor Rambling, good morning. Oh, I can't stay. I have to have the little man this weekend. I hope everyone does well. Man, I tell you what. Get to see one of my little guys tomorrow. My first grandson, now I call him the big guy. He's the bigger guy because he's almost 7. And the little guys he just turned 3. He just started pre-K, so he's a schoolman now. He's getting educated. He goes to school every day. That was sad for me. It makes him happy though. He likes to go to school. I told my daughter until they're about 14 that they don't want to go anymore. So that's when it happens, you know. So, but yeah, motor rambling, enjoy. Boots and jeans, good morning. Glad to have you on board there with us this morning. Having grandkids is fun all the times. D.A. Bishop said, you're right. Having grandkids anytime to come over. But man, they wear me out. Man, I know now why us older folks don't have kids. And my wife always says, Miss HR's looks, and she goes, why is this actor so and so married to this 30-year-old woman? He's 75 and they have a new baby. Guys, I don't want a new baby at 75, right? No, 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 no. No, no, no. Grandkids are so much fun. You get to play with them and have a good time, and then they leave and you just fall over. Poof, right? Tired as can be. So, all right. So, we are going to come up here on this magical 30-minute mark, and we're going to play our mid roll. Let's do that.
Coffee brewing? Check. Coffee with HDR on the big screen in the shed? Check. 15 minutes till coffee with HDR? Check. Oh, man. Oh. Yes, Mr. President. Yes, sir. Sir, with all due respect, we're getting ready to watch Coffee with HDR. Yeah, he's on 9. 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Yes, sir. I'll give you a call back in an hour. Thank you, sir. Oh, I tell you, nothing interrupts Coffee with HDR. Let's get on with the show.
All right, so Bob Nelson, congratulations on your 3rd great grandkid. I hope I live long enough to see my great grandkids. I can't imagine my grandkids right now looking at them how little they are and how precious they are. like growing up and getting married and having babies and right? It's like I can't even imagine them doing that. And it's like I know it happens and it's a real thing for sure. But congratulations on that. Um, Good morning to Ina South Oz. Ina South Oz in South Australia. Thank you so much for saying you enjoy the show. I hope you guys enjoy the show as much as I enjoy doing the show for you. So, it's been a great time. It's been a good roll here. I mean, this is show number 142. I don't know if I mentioned that. This is show number 142 for Saturday, the October the 7th. We're in October already, right? So, but anyway, yeah. But thank you so much for that. Payne's Ride said, I'm looking to ride destinations here in the Northeast. Anyone want to meet up for coffee, food, riding? I'm planning to leave early Monday, loop around and back to Connecticut Tuesday evening or Wednesday. Sounds like you're gonna have a great time, buddy, for sure. And I wish I was off because I would ride up to Connecticut and meet you. You know, I got to get up to Connecticut. I got to have you show me around up there, Payne's Rides, and maybe even the missus will come up and between myself, Miss HDR, you and Mrs. Payne's, and maybe we can all go on some ride, and you guys can show us around the Connecticut area. I believe we were through Connecticut when we went to Maine. I'm not really sure of that, but I think we were close. We were in like they always call it the New England states. I don't know how that ever happened. Like it's not New England. New England is overseas, but the New England states, I guess, was sanctioned by people from New England. I don't know how that worked either, but um, yeah, we were all up through that area, and we had a great, great time. We were even where they had the Olympics at once uh, in New York, Lake Placid, I think it was New York, and it was cool because the bobsled tracks are still there. Like everything's there. I mean, they should start like a amusement park. But what a cool little town that was. A lot of fun. It's amazing to me how small that town is and how many people that they had to have there for the Olympics. But it was really, really a good time. Matter of fact, yeah, Placid is cool. Matter of fact, we took the ferry boat across. Be the RPA said lobster ride in July. Yeah, we Miss HR doesn't eat shellfish, but she will eat fish. And I would love to go back to Maine. We were at Maine and I didn't get a lobster. That was one of the worst things about Maine. We were there for basically one night. I had a job at that point. I only had a 7-day vacation. And when you have a 7-day vacation, I know why people trailer their motorcycles. Because by the time you get there, we had to turn around and leave. So we stayed overnight. We got there late. We already had dinner before we got there. So I did get a lobster bisque, which was amazing. And Mrs. HDR had a cheese quesadilla because she doesn't eat shellfish. And we went to bed. We woke up the next morning. We packed the bike up and we headed out of Maine and we left. So that was disheartening for sure. I mean, we wanted to spend 2 days there, but then I wouldn't have got home in time for work. Probably would have got fired because it was a newer job. But looking back at it, who cared if I got fired from that job, really? But hey, so be it. There's more times for riding, I'm sure. All right, let's see. Anytime you want to come up here, I'll take both of you on back roads riding tour. We would love that. I'm sure you have some great areas to see. We love mountains. We love seeing back roads. We love seeing good restaurants. So think about it. Motor Rambling said, Jack, Mad DR, I managed to get 3 sections done before I had to hightail it home. What a great route. Oh, the BDR. Guys, I want to do a BDR. We're trying, and anytime you comment on any video from Ty from Tennessee, I want you to put a statement in there, buy an adventure bike. Okay? So anytime you watch videos from Ty from Tennessee, I don't care if he's talking about road maps. Say, hey, that was a great video about road maps. Buy an adventure bike. Okay? Buy an ADV. Because he's the holdout. We're trying to get him to buy an ADV. And then the 5 of us want to go hit a BDR. So the next thing is, when you watch Bodine 52's videos and Bronco Rides videos, any video they do, okay, if they do one about phone holders, if they do one about handlebars, whatever they do, comment on there. Buy some camping gear, okay? Because when you're on the BDR, I guess there's a lot of cabins you can stay at. There's a lot of places off the side of the road you can stay, So they don't need a tent. We're not going to sleep in tents, but they need a sleeping bag. So tell them, buy some camping gear, okay? You heard it here from HDR. Whenever you watch those guys' videos, that's what you got to do for me, okay? Help me out here. So, but I do want to get all of them out on a BDR. I think we'd have a great, great time. Minimoto didn't get his lobster when he was in Laconia, D. Bishop says. Yeah, the BDR is awesome, Anonymous Biker says. So I do want to do a BDR. I like to do it with the guys. I don't want to do it alone. Motor Rambling, I don't know if you want by yourself or not, but it's just too dangerous for me, man. I don't want to be out somewhere with no cell service, drop my bike over, break both of my legs, have a fractured shoulder, fractured pelvis, and, head trauma, and not have anybody to help me. Or at the very least, drop your bike and not be able to pick it back up, right? So I'd like to have somebody go with me out there for sure and be there with me. So, morning, Mike. Tent camped and I was there. Motor Rambling, I know you tent camp all the time, dude, and that's amazing when you go out on the bike on that beautiful, especially the beautiful yellow Honda Goldwing, man. You're out there on that Honda Goldwing. It's nice and bright, and you're in the middle of that campground, and I would really like, and I didn't do it this year. I want to do some solo camping, and I found a campground. I took the Himalayan out one day. I found a really cool little campground. Mrs. HR went out of town. I was like, hey, I'm going to go camping this weekend. She goes, it's going to be 45 degrees in the morning. I'm like, yeah, maybe I won't go camping this weekend. And I backed out. So I probably should have just did it, and made the best out of it. Uh, Guys in the service, I can never back out of camping. They told us, hey, grab your packs and go. And we took off and we went and we slept wherever you could sleep, guys. I've slept in a foxhole before. Um, you know, not in combat, in training. But yeah, you'd be in that foxhole all night long. You'd be sleeping in a foxhole standing up. So it could be done. I can sleep anywhere. So to me, a sleeping bag is like a bonus, right? So Harley 103, good morning, says Northeastern USA has some of the nicest roads that I've been to so far. Hope to get back to the Grand Canyon area sometime. That would be awesome too. Miss HR has been talking about going to Zion National Forest or Zion National Park. So that may be a trip coming up here for next summer. We might be going that way for sure, or maybe, I guess. Um, or I told her we talked about going across. She wants to go to California, but she really doesn't want to go on a motorcycle. So I said, look, maybe we can go like Pete's Moto Adventures went to Alaska. I said, what we could do is we could take the car, and that would be fine, but we can make an adventure out of it by camping every now and then. Okay, camp like Pete would camp a couple nights. He would stay at a hotel maybe a night, camp a couple nights, stay at a hotel, and travel across the country that way. That would be kind of fun, you know. So it would be an exciting adventure. Yeah, I would like to have the bike with me, guys. Don't get me wrong. I would love to ride all these different areas on the motorcycle. But sometimes, I mean, you have to look for comfort opposed to just having the bike. So, but if I can get some guys together, we can go. I would love, guys, to get a few of you together and take a nice ride. I don't care where we go, a nice long ride, and use the the Bunka Biker website, right? So we can keep the cost down. All we have to pay for really is fuel, food, right? But we can have places to stay. Take some tents. We can sleep in the people's yards. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You don't need a campsite at that point. So it would be interesting. I'd like to find some of you that would be interested in doing that. So I think we'd have a lot of fun. Zion will not disappoint you. Boots and Jeans said it's a must. Boots, thank you so much. I will tell Mrs. HR that. Jack, go camping in Slippery Rock. Oh, Anonymous Biker. Okay, yeah, Slippery Rock. I know right where that's at. There's a restaurant there, and so you, on Anonymous Biker, you must know where Slippery Rock is. There's a restaurant there called the Old Country Brewery. I think it's called the Old Country Brewery. It's amazing food. It's all locally sourced beef, and oh my goodness, it's so good. And the beers are really, really good. So, but yeah, thanks for that. I will check that out for sure. Sorry, but my idea of camping is Motel 6, Murray Cowboy said. Yeah, Smart Cowboy. some people won't even stay at a Motel 6, and they always leave the light on for you. But I think it's my years in the military. I mean, camping is something I love to do. Myself and Mrs. HDR, you guys probably watched that camping video we did like 2 years ago. We took all the gear. No, it might have been 3 years ago because it was during the height of that American shutdown, the world shutdown. And we didn't have anywhere to go on vacation, so we packed the bikes. Let's go motorcycle camping. And that wasn't bad enough, but no restaurants will let us inside. How do you eat your breakfast sitting on a curb? I knocked on the glass, and they're like, "Oh, you can't come in. Oh no, we're too scared of you." It's like, but you want my damn money. You don't want me sitting in your restaurant, but you want my money anyway. They should have shut all those restaurants down, man. Just shut them down. If you're not going to serve the customer, bye. Shut you down. So I refused to eat at any of those places. Any place that wouldn't let you in, and they did that for like a year after, right? Because they found we saved money because we don't have to worry about cleaning the dining room. So if we pulled in, and Miss HR knew, if we pulled in and said a sign, dining room closed, we left. We didn't go, right? If I'm paying to sit down and have a meal, not on your curb, right? Not in my car. I don't want ketchup on my car seats. I'm a sloppy eater, right? So anyway, so much for that. Chuck, good morning. You said, okay, next summer I have a trailer to carry most of the gear. Be the rider PSC. Yeah, you're right. You can, put all the tents and everything in your trailer. Chuck Henson said we did Grand Canyon, Zion, Bruce, Moad, and a few years ago in June, it was hot on the bike. I'm taking my wife next year, but we're taking the Camaro. See what I mean? There's a nice way to go. Nice way to travel. Change one letter, Toby. It's called Slippery Rock. Novice Bikers. Smarty Cowboy said, I was an Eagle Scout back in the day. I went camping a lot. That is when I was a teenager. My back is not. Oh, no, Smyrna, I get the picture. I do. Believe me, we liked it better when we went down to Route 66 and we did take the car down camping because we took a big air mattress, like a king size or a queen size air mattress. And you know how thick those are, right? It was like sleeping in your house, man. It was so nice, right? We had a bigger tent because when you take the bike, we take a backpacking tent. So the tent's like a two-person tent. And we take those little blow-up air mattresses. They're about like that thick, right? About that thick there. So it's a big difference. It's a big difference in comfort for sure. But it can be done. And guys, I'm not getting any younger, right? So we're all getting older. We're all aging out. And that's the way life goes. But you do have to take comfort too. So for sure. Anyway, so yeah, last week I told you a little bit about that. Oh yeah, where Dirty Dancing was filmed. I heard that was out there. Oh, there's plenty of hotels along the way. You could even stay at a hotel where Dirty. I heard that was filmed there, and it would be pretty cool. Um, yeah, so I guess there's a lot of different things we can do for sure. A lot of different things that myself and the guys can do. And you try. I mean, you try to do that when you go with a group of people. It's hard traveling with a group of people because you have to satisfy everybody's taste, right? And the four of us last year, we all went to OWN, right? The Ohio Windy Nine meetup, and we rented an Airbnb, and there was four of us in that house. Yes, because Pete Moto Adventures couldn't go because he was like traveling to Alaska, so we understood that. But even when Pete was there a couple of years ago, we found that the five of us can get along fairly well in a house. We work well together, and we eat the same kinds of foods. We kind of like to do the same kind of things. We ride the roads. Our riding habits are kind of the same, so we can ride really really well together. And I think that's important when you go away with a group of people. Now, when you go away with a group of people you don't know, you're taking a chance because you don't know what they like. You don't know how they are. And, and you don't want your personalities to crash. So that's why it works for the five of us. So we do get along. Like Pete's Moto Adventures and myself, when we were in VAM a few years ago, I usually wake up in the morning about 4:30, 5 o'clock, get a cup of coffee and sit and do my editing and, work on a computer or whatever. And it was cool because Pete was up too. So I had somebody to talk to, right? So myself and Pete are early birds. Um, Bodine is kind of mid early. Colin is like, he likes to get up about 10:30, 11 o'clock to get on the bike and go somewhere. He's a little later. Yeah. Ty from Tennessee is like up and ready, man. He's like, yeah, you guys leaving at 6? And he's out on the bike already. It's wiped off and it's ready to go. So, you get along, you know how each person acts and you know what each person is thinking. So, pretty much. So, that's why the Airbnbs work out really, really well for us. So, camping, I know two of the guys for sure. Pete Moto Adventures will camp. I don't think the other three will. Ty, Bodine, and Collins not. They're not really campers. Pete is. Pete will camp anywhere with you, so that's cool. But we could probably rent hotels. I mean, I don't care. I just want to do the BDR, right? I just want to go take the Himalayan out and hit some back dirt roads and have some fun, and say we did it, right? Mike Bodine says I was raised in Oklahoma, but didn't realize that Oklahoma had mountains in the south. Huh? Isn't that interesting? Do 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 do. Boots and jeans riders. We rode up into Canada a few years ago. The Banff area is fantastic. Just checking that out here, seeing who else is popping in here. I just up at the crack of dawn. Smyrna Cowboy says, Mrs. Cowboy, just at the crack of noon. Motorama says, I'll camp. Let's do the whole BDR. Motor Rambling, I don't even know how long that is, and I don't even know if you have my phone number or not, so we can talk about it. I would love to talk to you about it. I would be very much interested in it. I don't even know how long it would take us to do the whole thing. I know, I know there's challenging parts and then there's novice parts. So I know you may be going to the challenging parts, Motor Rambling, and I might be veering off a little bit to go to the novice parts and meet you on the other side. But I would love to do it and definitely take you up on the offer. So let me know on Instagram or something. Hit me up. We'll get each other's phone numbers and we can start talking. Maybe make plans over the summer would be a good time. And you're definitely going to outride me for sure. But I think I could learn a lot from you, and I think that would be a bonus for me. I always like learning stuff, so I'd be very much interested. Camping is how we live. Boots and jeans, and I've seen your tents. I've seen boots and jeans tents in the middle of a windstorm. They're sitting there and they're like, the wind's blowing the tent around and stuff. But that's awesome, Just people don't realize, and we started camping. Well, I did years ago at campgrounds, and the reason it happened was I remember I was a single dad at the time. It was a long time ago. My daughter was real young, and we went away with my mom. So my mom, we rented a hotel. I don't know what hotel it was. It was in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I do remember where it was. And there was a group of people there, and they were partying all night, and noisy and banging on the walls, and she looks at me and she goes, I think, wonder if we get a camper, if it would be better. And I was like, huh, never thought about that. So we bought our first pop up camper. Well, I did. I bought my first pop up camper back then. And very next week after that, myself, my mother, and my daughter, we took the pop up camper out because mom, wanted to see what camping was all about. And she was married at the time, but her husband works all the time and, he wasn't available. So mom went with us. And you know what? Campgrounds, after 9 p.m., it's called quiet time. What's it called, HDR? Quiet time. Oh, quiet time. Yeah, yeah. Most people put their little kids in the house, in the trailers, and they lock them up there. And they go shh. You can't be out screaming and yelling and partying and cussing and smashing things up and banging into the walls in the middle of the night and kicking your trailer around. And no, it's because it's quiet time. And it was so wonderful. And plus, when you own your own camper, if you have a camper or if you're sleeping in, even this, if you're sleeping in your own sleeping bag in a tent, even, you don't have to check for bed bugs. So there's no bed bugs in your sleeping bag. like there could be in a hotel room, right? Hotel rooms are notorious for bringing home bed bugs and cockroaches and all kinds of stuff. And you might say, HDR, what you say? It could be any hotel, right? 5-star hotels had trouble with bed bugs before. So that's another reason why we wanted to start camping, because we knew it was all of our own stuff and it was clean, right? So anyway, yes, it's for motorcycles. HDR, it was cheap Walmart tent. Oh, there you go, boots and jeans. Hey, cheap tent is a cheap tent, guys. If your tent blows away and you have a cheap tent, it's better than a very expensive tent blowing away. You heard it here first on Coffee with HDR. So yeah, camping is a great way to travel. I mean, anymore though, the way it was years ago, like you could get a campsite, tent site for $15 a night. Now they want like $45 a night. It's ridiculous. It's because camping has become so popular amongst, as I call them, the yuppies, right? The people that, they always say people go out and they want to camp, but they do it in such a style that these campgrounds just keep raising their rates and people keep paying it. And the reason they're raising their rates is because there's so many people that want to go there. Any campground's that way. So sometimes what I look for is the mom and pop campgrounds, where like the couple, that's what we stayed in at the Finger Lakes. The couple actually owns the campground. They live there on the campground. And you tend to get those when they take their property and put campus lights on. You get those a lot cheaper than you would like a KOA or one of the big conglomerate camping grounds, right? The ones that want to make you pay over what you should be paying. All right. Yeah, yeah. Sleeping, whispering. Jarvis Biker said, whispering Jack. All right. So let's see here. Motor Rambling said there are some technical stuff I had to get through, some water crossings, which was fun. I would love to do that stuff. That's why we love despaired camping, the displaced camping. Not too many others around, no noise. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been watching or not. Like, good morning, Tamar007. We finally got to ride the new Transcontinental today. Yippee. I bet you that was amazing. I bet you had a good time on that motorcycle. I love the Transcontinental. Beautiful, beautiful bike. Taurus Biker says, Harvest Host is great for free camping. There you go. Another free place. I know I spend too much on hotels this year. 2023 budgeted shopping. Motor Rambling said, doing to my gut issues, I need at least minor facilities. If you look, you'll find them. We paid cheap prices. Yeah, and that's another thing too. Medical reasons are another reason why maybe you can't go to campgrounds, or if you're at a campground. Motor Rambling, and I know you do a lot of campgrounds. Maybe you want to be closer to the bathhouses, right? The facilities. The place we stayed at Finger Lakes, it was like we walked maybe 25 yards to the bathhouse. Beautiful bathhouses, individual shower stalls, which is always nice. Clean restrooms, which is always nice. So, I don't think anybody, and some people look down on campers like, well, they're less of people, and that's the people that don't have a lot of money and they're not wealthy people, and, they don't stay at the Ritz or the Carlton, or, I don't believe that, because we've been at those hotels. We're not wealthy people, but we're not. I don't think we're any less off or any worse off than anybody else. We just enjoy certain things, and if you can go camping and take your fishing poles, guys, that's a double win right there. You can go fishing. You could do some camping. I love cooking outdoors, right? That last time I put these steaks on the open pit fire on the grill top. Oh my God, they were so good. They were amazing steaks, and stuff like that is awesome. That's the part of camping I love. You sit outside at night in your chair around the fire. You're looking up at the beautiful stars. You cannot look up at a hotel room ceiling and see beautiful stars. You can't, because it's a ceiling, right? So, but to each is their own. Remember, I always say, ride your own ride. I'm going to start a new saying. It's going to say, live your own life, right? Don't live your life based on anybody else's thoughts of what your life should look like. And I've done that. I've lived my life based on what other people think that I should be doing. And that is a horrible life to live, right? I wake up every day now and I look around and I say, you know what? I am truly blessed, right? I go in the garage, I look in the garage, I think, yeah, couple motorcycles, couple cars, lawnmowers, weed eaters, everything in that garage we own, and I feel really blessed, right? So that's how you got to live your life. Don't live your life based on how other people think that you should be living it. Live it based on how you want to live. I don't care if you want to ride a 1965 Harley Davidson and you love it, that's your bike. You don't need a 2025 Harley Davidson Roadmaster or something, You don't need it. So, live your own life. And boy, HDR, you're becoming a philosopher. Yes, I am. Yes, I am becoming a philosopher on the Coffee with HDR show. Um, get out and do the thing, Paul says. That's right. Get out and do the thing. Whatever the thing is, go out and do it. Um, we like cheap camps. We now have dollars to get food. Boots and Jeans said, right. So cheaper the camp, the more food you can buy, right? It's a trade off. Um, and remember, guys, and Boots and Jeans, I don't know if you guys are retired. I don't remember if you're both retired yet. But I'm getting close to that retirement age, and we're starting to look at like how much finances do you need to live on each month, And right now, everything getting to the point where everything's getting paid off, right? Except maybe like your mortgage, your house. Maybe that won't be paid off. Well, it won't be paid off when I retire. So you're gonna still have a mortgage, but I don't want to go out right now and buy a new motorcycle, a new truck, and be looking at 5 payments or 5 years of payments or 7 years of payments. I want to look at something where I don't have any more payments, right? That's my goal. I'm paying stuff fast, pay it off, and then live your best life, right? Live your best life on minimal amount of money. That's hard today, right? Everything's high. All the prices are gone up. Everything's way out of whack. And, but you can still live your best life, right? And always look around because there's people out there that have it worse off than you do, right? Be that whatever, be that with your health, be that with your wealth, be that with your surroundings of where you may be living. There's always somebody out there worse off, making a whole lot less and still living each and every day because they're living their own life. There you go. There's my word for the day. Live your own life and live the best life you can live. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching this rendition of Coffee with HDR. I am here each and every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, loving every minute of it. Love chatting to you and love having a good time with everybody out there, guys and girls. Man, you're what makes this show possible, and you are definitely, it's a lot cheaper to live in retirement than you think, Motor Rambling says. And I bet you that is absolutely true. We've been talking like I won't have gas to go to work anymore. I don't have to worry about my uniforms, and I don't have to worry about blah, 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 blah. And you're right, Motor Rambling. I bet you it is cheaper to live in retirement. So just have to see how that goes. But all right, thanks everybody so much for watching. And until next time, remember, ride your own ride. Live your own life and live your best life ever. Guys, I will talk to you next week. For now, this is your good old buddy, Harley Day Rider, your good old friend HDR. We'll be down and out in the beautiful HDR studios here in southwestern Pennsylvania. I will talk to everybody next week. Get out there and ride and be safe. We'll see